The following is a presentation of WGN Sports.
For a decade and a half, the Washington Bullets have been synonymous with losing basketball. But optimism is now authentic on the Beltway as the Bullets have drafted well and traded wisely in building a promising young team. Today, they host the hottest team in basketball as Michael and company come calling for their 8th straight win. On the day America celebrates the birth of Dr. Martin Luther King, the Bulls and Bullets meet in the nation's capital next. U.S. Air Arena filling up on a holiday afternoon in the area of our nation's capital, just north of Washington, D.C. The Chicago Bulls put the NBA's best record on the line against the improving Washington Bullets. Hi, everybody. I'm Wayne Larrabee. Welcome to Bulls basketball and a special holiday matinee edition. The Bulls and the Washington Bullets. The Bulls on a 7-game winning streak. Washington, an improving young team. At 18-17, they're up to 3rd place in the Atlantic Division of the NBA. As always, my partner, Johnny Red Curran. Red, let's go back to Saturday night, that 3rd quarter in Philadelphia. Put it in a time capsule. Let's send this thing out to the outer space.
Well, you're right, Wayne. And if you were if somebody requested a clinic tape, all you had to do was send them that 3rd quarter. They were magnificent in the 3rd quarter. Look at some of the statistics. The Bulls had 44 points. Jordan had 17. They shot 68% from the field, 4 for 5 from three-point lane, and scored on 21 of 25 possessions, which gave us a chance to talk to Phil Jackson before the game. We said, hey, Coach, does this bother your rotation, or what do you do with your starters?
Well, you know what happens in the coaching staff, you're saying, okay, let's get a rhythm for our team. Some guys need to come out at the 8-minute mark. We need some bench guys to come in, give us some help, rotate our lineup so that they can come back in the 4th quarter, have a fresh Pippen and Jordan. You'll have the access to Luke in the 4th quarter. And when you see a blowout like that starting to develop, you just say, let them roll them over, because the starters are going to be out at the end of the 3rd quarter, and you can give the 4th quarter to the guys off the bench. And that's truly a luxury when you have a 4th period like that.
Well, I'll tell you, it's a luxury when you have a player like Michael Jordan. Saturday night in Philadelphia, he presented the whole package to a North Carolina alum, didn't he?
You know, in business, it's called net, net, net. That's the bottom line. We'll take a look at Michael in action in Philadelphia. Here he is over Jerry Stackhouse. He goes up with a shot, nothing but net. He'll take Jerry Stackhouse again, take him to the hole, and pull up for the quick jumper, nothing but net. Now, that doesn't work. They put a little quicker guy, smaller guy, goes around Trevor Ruffin. He goes over the top of him. Net, net, and more net.
Absolutely. And the net of Jordan of late. 56% from the field, even better from the arc. For the season, Michael shooting over 50%. This is a guy that takes a lot of shots and a lot of tough shots over the course of a ball game. No question about it. Now, the Washington Bullets. This is a team that we feel is one of the better young teams in the Eastern Conference, but today they come in injury-scarred.
Yes, John Nash has done a nice job putting this team together, but they've got 4 players that'll miss today's game. 2 of them are on the injured list, and that's Chaney with 14 points, Robert Pack 18, and Chris Webber way up there with 23, over 23 points a game. Mark Price, who hurt his foot the other day, with 6. That's 4 players out.
Absolutely, and 3 of them starters, as you mentioned. So, the Washington shutdown, but a couple of guys who will be going to work here today, this holiday afternoon. Juwan Howard out of Chicago and Michigan, and George Murison.
Juwan Howard is a fine forward. He will play in the shadow of Webber when Webber comes back, but he's a good one. Georgie Murison, when you look at him, you got to look up, up, and up.
The tallest player in the history of the NBA. The Bulls and the Washington Bullets coming up. Starting lineups, opening tip. Good to have you with us. We'll be back on WGN. Game. The Bulls begin up front with Scottie Pippen.
Yesterday, Scottie had a patch over his eye, had an abrasion in that game in Philly. He looks okay today.
Dennis Rodman, the compliment up front.
Yes, Dennis has led this team in 19 of 21 games and the leading rebounder.
In the middle, Luke Longley will have a challenge here this afternoon.
7'2", but he's going to give up 5 inches to his opponent.
Yeah, he'll look small out there, won't he? Ron Harper in the backcourt.
Well, he's in double figures 3 out of the last 4 games. Nice job by Harp.
And rounding out the starting quintet, Michael Jordan.
He also, with the 48 points, went over the 23,000 mark for his career.
Head coach of the Chicago Bulls, Phil Jackson, who overall has won 71% of his games in his career with the Bulls, 7 years strong. For the Washington Bullets, Juwan Howard, the youngster out of Michigan. And, of course, he was a youngster in Chicago. And
yes, Chicago Vocational High School, Michigan. He's done a great job. 4 games in a row now with 20 points or more.
The rookie, Rasheed Wallace, another North Carolina rookie.
You know, he's the ACC leader in history in field goal percentage at .635.
Georgie Murison in the middle. We spoke of him in the pregame.
Yes, if he took Luke to the movies, Luke could get in for half price.
And Liddell Eccles in the backcourt. I hadn't thought about it that way.
Well, don't look to this guy for many assists tonight. He's going to come out shooting.
And rounding it out, Brent Price. Not Mark, but Brent, his younger brother.
That's right. He's got a brother, Mark, and it's nice to play with your brother, but he won't get a chance tonight. Mark's hurt.
So the lineups, Jimmy Lynam, fine coach here in his second year with the Washington Bullets, 39-78 with the Bullets team overall at 9 seasons as a head coach. He's the second winningest coach in 76ers history. There's the series rundown. It was 2-2 last year. The Bulls lost the first 2 games of the series and came back to win the last 2. The officials for tonight's game, Joe Crawford, Jim Clark, and Leroy Richardson. And as I mentioned, this arena will be sold out by the time everybody gets in.
I mentioned giving up 5 inches. Luke giving up 5 inches tonight. He's 7'2". This guy's 7'7". That's the way Muggsy Bogues feels every game.
Yes. to the guy he's playing in the backcourt.
Right.
You take, what is Muggsy, 5'3"?
Yes, I think so, yeah.
And he's playing guys who are on average 6'3" or thereabouts?
Oh, they have to try to play him, too.
Yeah, that's true. On the other end, there is that.
Oh, here we go. It's official. Getting ready to start now.
I think so. So Michael Jordan and the Bulls in their new road uniforms, solid black, red pinstripes, red numbers, white trim. Washington in the home uniforms. It'll be Rasheed Wallace on the tap with Luke Longley. Joey Crawford has it set to go. And we're underway. Bulls control. Bulls leading the NBA in points per game. It's better than 107 points per ball game. 10 to go on the shot clock. This is the first possession of the contest. Jordan for 3. Uris on the rebound. Brent Price sets the floor for the Bullets. They try to spring Wallace to the post, and we've got a foul coming up.
Ronnie Harper with the touch foul picks up the first one.
So the Bullets will inbound with a fresh 24. Juwan Howard to the outside for 2. Howard comes in averaging 20.5 points a ball game, developing into a fine pro. Of course, his Michigan running mate, Chris Webber, is a big part of this franchise now. Injured today, will not see action. Michael Jordan hits on his second attempt from the floor. So we're tied at 2 in the early going. Price to Rasheed Wallace, a double down from Michael Jordan. Good ball movement. Liddell Eccles wide open for 3. Jordan has position for the rebound, and the Bulls on the move. Scottie Pippen.
There's a Murison in the middle there. He's caught between.
Yeah, they didn't call it, though.
Luke, yep.
You were looking for an illegal defense, and it certainly was. Jordan from the outside for 3.
Michael with 5 quick points here. He was 5 out of 7, wasn't he, in Philly from 3?
Yes, he was.
Wow.
Jordan overall 18 to 28 at Philadelphia. Murison, the hook shot over Longley. And stolen away by Price, but we've got a foul coming up. It's on George Murison, his first on the team. Just the start of things here in Landover. Bulls leading by a point. Bill Jackson and company. Team will be heading home this evening. Michael on the drive. Pass hit the bottom of the backboard, and Brent Price comes up with it. Pippen takes it right back.
He'll shoot over Price if he's alone.
Scottie in on Murison. Scottie wanted a foul. No foul. No call. Brent Price pulls up for 3. Ring it up.
Well, Muraside causes all kinds of problems just by standing there and stretching his arms out.
Harper to Luke Longley on the reverse. And again, Luke had to go to the reverse to avoid Muraside. Brent Price pulls up again for three. Ring that. Second in a row for Price. Harper looking to get it back for the Bulls. Muraside got a piece of that. It should be Bulls ball. The officials, two officials were undecided, and the third official, Leroy Richardson, said Washington ball. I thought Muraside partially blocked that. Brent Price bumped by Michael Jordan. Michael picked up his first personal second on the team.
The Bulls try to do that. If somebody takes a three on them, they come back and they try to get the three right back.
They answered almost every tray by the Sixers the other night with a three-pointer of their own on the very next possession, as you point out. Muraside over Longley, and Luke took him down in the foul call. His first and the third of the team.
Georgie shakes his head like you can't stop me. He's trying to shoot over the top of him. He'll shoot a couple free throws with it.
Jim Lynam on the bench, head coach of the Philadelphia 76ers for several seasons, but now the head coach here in Washington. Given charge under John Nash, the general manager, of developing this young franchise.
Running basket, and you jump back into it.
I found that interesting, Red. He's the second all-time winningest coach in Philadelphia 76er history.
I would be sure of that, yeah.
Billy Cunningham, the winningest. Bulls are trailing by 4. We are first quarter. Now they call the illegal defense. Again, it's on Muraside. What the Bulls are doing, Red, they're pulling Luke Longley out of the perimeter and asking Muraside to go out there. And if he doesn't, it's an illegal defense. So that's the first illegal defense call on the Bullets. Pippen on the drive. Blocked from behind by Muraside. Scottie gets it back, and off the fake, Pippen banks it home. 2-point lead for the Bullets. Price now draws the attention of Jordan after a couple of three-pointers. Rodman and Howard on a battle royale on the block. Howard with it against Dennis. No help, now some help from Jordan. Pass is stolen by Harper. He was bumped by Price, and Price picks up his first personal foul, second on the team.
Show the effect, the defense of Muraside. Here Pip comes on all the way in, gets the shot blocked, but then quickly goes up and lances it off the glass and in.
Bulls are 4 of 8 from the field. Bullets have started out hot, 4 out of 5. Michael the pull-up for 2. Missed his first. He's made 3 in a row.
He's hurting there. I don't know what's happening. He's hurting.
Brent Price around a screen by Muraside for 3. Bring it up.
He just went out, and he's doing the brother act. He looks like Mark Price.
Brent Price with 3 trays, and the Bullets enjoy the 3-point lead. Harper finds Longley up high. Luke connecting on a second from the field. He has 4. Juwan Howard quickly to the attack. Bulls trail by 1. Howard, Rodman got a piece of it. Pippen Price lose the rebound. Bulls on the run. They've got numbers. Michael. A whistle that stops the action now, and Brent Price apparently did not have position, or did he?
Good shot.
It's on Rasheed Wallace.
Yeah. Michael, did he take a 3 on that? Did he get 3 free throws? Let's see if he gets 3 free throws.
He should.
He does.
He's shooting 3. I thought they had a foul away from the ball. Brent Price trying to take a charge, but Michael Jordan at the line makes his first, and he'll have 2 more. Game is tied at 14. Michael with 9 points. He's only missed 1 shot of any kind, right?
Yeah, he and Price with 9 apiece.
So Jordan cashes in at the line. He has 10 points. Pressure in the backcourt now by the Bulls.
He does get it in.
Brent Price now sets the floor for Washington. Once Murison in close, slapped away by Longley and Rodman. Picked up by Howard. 8 to go on the shot clock. Howard finds Brent Price. Up over the backboard, it'll belong to the Bulls. Got a timeout on the floor. Washington takes a break. Jimmy Lynam's team is off to a pretty good start. They trail by just 2. Fred Kerr on a rare Monday matinee of NBA basketball. The Bulls leading by 2 in the early going. Dennis Rodman on the perimeter. Rasheed Wallace gave him plenty of room. Now Michael on the block.
3 seconds.
Juwan Howard cleans the board. Brent Price, 3 out of 4 from the field. 3 3-pointers. Howard, got by Scottie Pippen, picked up by Rodman. Jordan and Rodman knocked the ball out of bounds.
The reason Rodman doesn't get more rebounds with the Bulls is he's got Scottie and Michael to contend with. Michael's been in double figures the last 2 games with over 10 each game.
Waddell Eccles hit the side of the backboard there. Scottie Pippen on the roll. $25 from McDonald's to charitables every time a Chicago Bulls slam dunks in the game like that.
Even if he runs with it. Watch Pip. 1, 2, 3, B was going to.
Oh my goodness. Jimmy Lynam
got it technical on a play, so Michael will shoot it.
Watch this. 1, 2.
You know what? Well, we've seen Michael dunk from the free throw line, but now that Pip went from the 3-point line. Mike with the free throw. It's at 11.
So Michael has the technical foul taken care of. Jimmy Lynam, the head coach of the Bullets, came all the way down the sidelines to argue that one. And left the coaching box or coaching area. Brent Price sets it up now. The Bulls leading by 5, their biggest lead of the afternoon. Murison in close. Travel.
Yep.
Oh, and is that inside the crowd?
That's it. All depends on how you look at it.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, I'll tell you, Price looks like Brent Price. He dribbles the ball every hand check. Eccles is going to get upset with that one.
The Bullets getting very frustrated now through some of the calls they're getting here. Here's Jimmy. Bulls put together quite a run here in the last almost 3 minutes. Michael for 3. Juwan Howard the rebound. Under 6 minutes to go, first quarter. Eccles, nice change of direction there. Three-point Chicago lead. Pippen coming right back. Draws contact from the rookie Rasheed Wallace. Excellent move by Pippen.
Good screen by Luke. He just stood up there and they ran Juwan Howard right into him. Watch this. I watched Luke is just standing there and watch this. Boom, what a screen he does. And then he gives the fake and Wallace tries to block it, picks up his second foul.
Scottie connecting on his first. He's 67% now at the free throw line.
I'd like to say hello to their moms. Fish and Matt are here from Deerfield. Fishman.
Pitt puts in on a pair. He has 6 points. Pressure in the backcourt again. Brent Price says, I've got it. Let me get it across here, and we'll set up the offense. Murison, a big screen. Price finds Wallace, the back end of the play. Harper sets it up for Chicago. Bulls lead by 5. Michael.
Great ball! He went and split Waddell Eccles and Murison and just power slammed it down. Michael's got 13 in the first quarter here.
Biggest lead of the afternoon. 23-16. Price gets the step on the drive. Kept on the reverse.
What a performance by that young man, too.
The 11 points. Pippen right back.
Pippen with the save.
Jordan for 3. Ring it up.
Michael on a roll here. 16 first quarter points. He's got 16. The Bullets have 18.
Is he closing in on a milestone? He seems like he's in a hurry to get his points today.
tough time here in shooting in this building.
Howard backing Rodman, and the foul called on Dennis.
Take a look at this drive now. He's going to come across, and then he's going to split these two players. He goes between Murasan and Eccles and up over the top of Howard.
Georgie turned around and said, where'd he go?
Yeah.
Back live with the Bulls leading 26-18. Eccles backs off on the dribble. Wallace on the block. Scottie Pippen tries loose the rebound. Pippen in transition. Oh, Luke Longley unable to handle. He had an easy 2 down low. One thing you can do, you can beat George Murasan down the floor. There's no question about that. He's not the quickest player, but his footwork is much better, especially offensively. Watch him here on the block. Nice touch. Didn't get that one to fall. Rodman trying to pry loose the rebound. Going to belong to Washington. Dennis a little frustrated. Head-butted the ball.
Yeah. He thought that he came over to top him. Legler comes in. It gives him. The Bulls are going to take a timeout and talk about this as we look at a replay going out. He misses it, and up Dennis taps. He can't get it. Big Georgie. Ball goes off Dennis, and we got a timeout.
When you're 7-7, you don't worry about a vertical leap. Jordan off to an outstanding start, 16 points, 5 of 8 shooting from the floor. Take a look at him in action here from the arc. His second three-pointer of the afternoon, and Michael's had some big numbers against Washington in his career, including one game down here in Landover.
You know, you and I were talking to Chip Schaefer during the timeout and said, what's the matter with Michael? He's limping a little bit. He said, yeah, he sprained his ankle backpedaling on a play earlier. It hasn't affected his takeoff.
No. Brent Price beats the big guy, Murasan. Murasan second from the field. He has 5 points. Tony Kukoc in the lineup now for the Bulls. Jordan for 3 again.
Yeah. Oh, man, is he on a roll, isn't he?
19 for Michael Jordan here this first quarter. 6 of 9 from the field.
Well, Brent Price might have irritated him.
I think so, by sticking a few three-point daggers himself here this first quarter. Bob McCann had the ball tipped away from behind by Kukoc. He recovers and hits on the hook. McCann working on a 10-day contract here with the Bullets to replace one of the many injured Washington players. Tony off the glass. Got a loose ball foul on Dennis Rodman on a push here. So Rodman picks up his second personal foul. It's the 5th on the team.
Get a rebound?
Dennis Rodman yet to get a rebound. But remember, in Philadelphia the other night, right?
He didn't have one, ended up with 16.
Yeah. Late in the first quarter, you asked that question, and then he ended up with 16 next time you look.
So,
he didn't play much in the fourth quarter.
Bob McCann will shoot 2 free throws here as the Bulls are in the penalty.
We mentioned in the open of the show here this afternoon that the Bullets have 4 people who are out with injuries here this afternoon, and thus they have contracted Michael Curry and Bob McCann, a couple of pickups who are working on 10-day contracts, so they get some of their injured people back in uniform. There are a couple of the injured Bullets right there.
We'll give Michael a different guy to look at now. Mitchell Butler.
1 out of 2 for McCann, and Rodman's got his first rebound. Kukoc, Jordan, Pippen, Rodman, and Longley on the floor for the Bulls. Screened by Longley.
Get out of the way, Luke, or get him in there. You got Legler.
Yep, and that's what they do. They get it to Luke Longley, but it took a little bit too long.
I guess they call it
3-second violation. Had to be, right? Oh, traveling, I guess is what they initially called. I didn't see a signal from either official. Usually you see a play delay like that, it's usually a 3-second violation. Mitchell, Butler, Legler, McCann, Murasan, and Howard in the ball game for the Bullets.
Offensive foul, nice play, and Juwan Howard, I think it was, coming across down low with the left arm. Take a look if we can see down low. And watch him, Juwan Howard, with that. Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Good call, good play.
So Juwan Howard guilty of his first personal foul, and the Bulls reset. Rodman pitches to Pippen. Scottie finds Kukoc. Dennis the rebound. Good look, Longley. No foul, and now we get a whistle on the play.
A little bit slow, but they did get the call.
That was a delay call. Phil Jackson called that before Jim Clark did. Georgie picks up his second. So Luke will head to the line.
They'll come with Jim McElvain. Been a nice player for him here.
He has. Second-round draft choice out of Marquette. A lot of people up in the Chicagoland area. And played in the Great Midwest Conference. And now, of course, Marquette
blocks a lot of shots for this kid.
All-time leading shot blocker for Marquette. And, in fact, leads this club in block shots with 2 per game. There's George Virasan heading to the bench. So Longley off the mark on his first at the free throw line. Second up.
They gave him a warning. They just gave Robin Ficker a warning. The next one, he's gone. That's a warning. So they got the heckler behind the bench here that gives all kinds of problems. And Jimmy Clark just went over and said, I'm giving you a warning to security. Next one, you toss it. As long as he splits the free throw. He's got 5.
And the Bulls lead by 7.
Everybody went down. Offensive foul. Michael got out in front of Legler, and Leroy Richardson went down. But he held on to his whistle and made the call.
Tim Legler's first. Watch this now.
And Michael spreads out to take the offensive foul. Down he goes. Down goes. He tripped over somebody in the audience.
Yeah, I think you're right. Watch this.
Ball boy.
Yep. Tripped over the ball boy. Leroy Richardson officiating's a contact sport.
Rodman sits down. Simpkins in for him.
Under 2 minutes to go in this first quarter. Longley with a spot-up jumper. He has 7 here in this first quarter.
These 3 players have scored for the Bulls. Pippen, Longley, and Jordan. He got 32 in this quarter.
Mitchell Butler. Legler and Bears watching at the arc. Howard comes out to get it. 10 to go on the shot clock now. Howard looking to make a move on Dickie Simpkins. Rebound Jordan. Bulls started up. Pippen finds Simpkins. Pass off the mark. It'll belong to the Bullets. Pass actually was there. I misspoke. Dickie should have had that pass. Mitchell Butler may have screened him a little bit, but that's a pass you got to make the catch on. Juwan Howard. Oh, nice move here. 4 for Howard. And the Bullets down by 7.
Bulls trying to up-tempo this game and get into their bench.
Michael backs off on the jumper. McElvain and McCann fight for the rebound, and McElvain gets the board. Juwan Howard in transition. Now he sets the floor. Mitchell Butler wants Howard on the block against Dickie Simpkins. Juwan Howard now struggling through the field. Has missed his last couple, and here come the Bulls. He's been off the mark. Tony Kukoc able to chase down. Half a minute to go. About a 3-second difference shot clock to game clock.
They're going to go 2 for 1. If they get the rebound, so they'll just go now to their last position.
Pippen to Jordan for 3. Scottie, and it's stripped away from behind by Butler. McCann out of the backboard, lost the handle. Mitchell Butler can't handle it. Juwan Howard does, and at the buzzer misses on the jumper. So kind of a helter-skelter first quarter, but Michael Jordan again, an outstanding period of work. 19 points on 6 of 11 from the field, and the Bulls lead 32-25. Here this afternoon, Bulls wrapping up a brief 2-game sojourn to the East Coast. And a reminder, fans, that on Tuesday, January 16th, when the Bulls battle the Philadelphia 76ers at WMAQ Radio Umbrella Night, first 10,000 fans entering United Center receive a Bulls umbrella. Compliments of WMAQ Radio. Michael Jordan gets a break after a 19-point first quarter. Scottie Pippen is in with the second team. Steve Kerr, Bill Wennington, Tony Kukoc, and Dickie Simpkins on the floor. Juwan Howard is close off the glass.
Technical foul. Somebody got thrown to the floor. I didn't see who it was.
Technical fouls on Juwan Howard.
Yeah.
For some extracurricular trash talking following the drive.
I think it was. Now watch down low. Tony just gets knocked down, and they go for the basket, and he goes over the top of Bill Wennington. And he says something to the official. He raised both hands and hollered.
Yep. Steve Kerr will shoot the team. This Bullets team frustrated by some calls that they didn't get in the first quarter. And, you know, a young team like this oftentimes will let that take them out of the mindset. There is the free throw shooting. The Bulls enjoyed an advantage there. The shooting was exactly the same from the field. The Bulls had a rebounding edge as well in that first quarter. Bill Wennington trying to clear on the block. Scottie Pippen with the anticipatory pass, and Bill says, hey, Scottie, I should have had that. Pippen with some pressure in the backcourt. Mitchell Butler takes it across. The Bulls lead by 6, and Scottie reaching gets called for the foul. It is his first and the first on the team here in the second quarter.
Boy, Scottie looked bad getting out of that bus yesterday, didn't he, with that big patch over his eye? And
yeah, he suffered an eye injury at Philadelphia.
A little abrasion on the...
McCann slapped away by Kukoc on the pass to Howard. Mitchell Butler clears down low. Beautiful move by Butler. First 2 points of the game for Butler, and the Chicago lead is down to 4. One of the points Bill Jackson made to us before the game, he wants to see his bench play some meaningful minutes. Game on the line. Wennington comes up short there. Well, these are meaningful minutes now. Juwan Howard and the Bullets closing in. Kerr picks off the deflection. Pippen pulls up for 3. Ring it up.
Boy, how many times has he done that? Coming down, bearing down on everybody, and just ups with it. He's got 9. They just have, what, 4 threes in this game?
Scottie shooting 52% from the arc in the last 4 games. Juwan Howard against Tony Kukoc. Howard with another facial on Tony.
He made a couple tough passes.
Pass intended for Kerr. Steve let it go out of bounds because it was touched by the Bullets. Juwan Howard gets a break, and Liddell Eccles comes back on for Washington.
So they got some outside shooters. They got a small team in here now with McIlvain as the center. I think if Bill gets an opportunity in the outside for a shot, take a fake, and he can go right around McIlvain because he's going for the block shot every time.
Wennington spots up. Good play by Kerr that time. Kukoc has it rejected by McIlvain. Butler calls for a timeout, and he got it. 22nd timeout for Washington. Butler hustling on the play. Well, Steve Kerr did his job, penetrating into the lane, through the defense, found Wennington wide open. Bill missed the shot, and then it was Tony Kukoc.
We talked about McIlvain being up with the block shots. Here's Tony. Tony goes up for the shot, and he gets it wiped out.
Jim McIlvain leads this team in block shots. Does an outstanding job in that category. Among the league leaders, he has 66 blocked shots this season. Murison has 65. The Bullets as a team are at block almost 6 shots per game.
I know Scottie's got 33 blocks, 1 for each game we played in.
Yes, indeed. High for the Bulls is Luke Longley with 40 in that category. Looked like Steve Kerr got tangled up with Legler there, and Kerr gets called for the foul. His first, second on the team.
Have the Bulls scored since Mike set? Yeah, they got a free throw. And Pippen's 3.
Mitchell Butler had it tipped away from behind by Pippen. Simpkins to Scott. In on Legler. Pippen with 11.
With the steal, he just guesses right. Not always a guess, though.
Not always a guess, right, and the hands. Very, very quick hands. And the long wingspan helps as well. Bob McCann working Dickey Simpkins. Scored and a foul.
Who is on the 10-day contract here?
5 points for McCann. You think they may extend that contract a little bit?
Bounce, bounce. He's going to go with the left hand. He's left-handed. He bounce. He takes that little hook over the top. Did they give that to Bill or did they give that to Dickey?
They gave it to Simpkins.
Okay.
So Bob McCann at the free throw line. Simpkins the rebound. Tony Kukoc to Steve Kerr. Pippen over McIlvain. Scottie for 2. He has 13 points in the contest now. Pippen knocked it away and ran out of real estate on the sideline. But again, boy, you see the long wingspan and the quick hands for Scottie Pippen make him a lethal defender.
Okay,
Brent Price back in, and Mitchell Butler has a seat on the bench.
So now they've got 2 deep threats here in Price and Legler. Scottie's got Legler. He likes to gamble. Let's see what happens here.
Bob McCann. Help coming from Wennington. Skip pass is deflected by Kerr, picked off by Scottie Pippen. Tony for 3.
Tony jumper back off vacation.
We haven't seen many of those from him of late. Tony's three-point shooting was down under 30% coming into this afternoon's game. Legler watched by Scottie Pippen. Kukoc the rebound.
Okay, now look down for Pip. Look for Pip down there. Got the smaller Legler on him.
Here we go. Yep.
What you look for, he's got 15.
And the Bulls now extend the advantage to 45-33. Pippen 4 for 4 shooting from the floor in this, the second quarter. Scottie with 9 points in the second quarter as Michael takes a break, and the Bulls extend their advantage to 12 points.
Here's Pip down on Legler, a little bit bigger man. Defended by the smaller guy. Pip has been outstanding this quarter. 9 points, 4 for 4. Rest of the team, so they're shooting.
Liddell Eccles gets the baseline on the reverse. He has 4. Michael Jordan back on the floor for the Bulls as Pip takes a rest. Looks like a foul coming up here on Brent Price. No, on Liddell Eccles. Second on Eccles. It's only the first on the team. Under 8 minutes to go in this first half. Michael backing Eccles to the familiar fadeaway. Jump ball, no foul. George Marathon got all ball.
Big Georgie goes up. Tony and Dickey keep tapping the ball around. Then it goes up in the air, and it's a jump ball. Good call. Georgie went up quick. 34 was the violation. He was 34.
Well, 34. The only 34 on the floor is the Bulls' Bill Wennington.
That's the other. As you got it right. Violation was on him.
Joey Crawford just signaled the wrong way. That's all. Okay. So the violation on Bill Wennington. To the Bullets, who trail by 10. Set up shot. Murison. Wennington has him off his mark a little bit, but Georgie nonetheless with that long reach. Man, you talk about a wingspan.
You know, it's funny. Bill Wennington's 7 foot, and I think he might be too small to play George Murison.
Yeah, I think you're right. You know what the stat is on George Murison, or what the fact is on him. Kerr, nicely done. Put a lot of air into that shot. Steve Kerr. George Murison, his parents are both under 6 feet. His father is 5'9". His mother died of cancer just before he started his rookie season with the Bullets, was 5'7". Murison down low, and I believe it was Simpkins who caught him on the foul.
So his parents are very small, eh?
Yeah.
Small wonder. Look at this. Tallest players in NBA history. There's George Murison. They had Manute Bol here also at 7'7", and now Sean Bradley at 7'6". Well, what about a little guy? Muggsy Bogues,
about that?
5'3".
Jordan makes good on his first to the free throw line. 61% from the free throw line. We talked about wingspans with Scottie Pippen, and for him, he has, for his size, he has a tremendous wingspan. Dennis Rodman back into the lineup. George Murison's wingspan, Red, when he puts his arms out, about the size of a 747 wing to wing. He is 7 feet 10.5 inches on that wingspan. 1 out of 2 for Murison at the line. He has 8 points here this afternoon. 7 feet 10.5 inches. Oh, man. Jordan.
Nice little drop pass from Dennis. The timing was perfect as MJ come off and knocked it in. He's got 21.
7 for 13 shooting for Michael. Brent Price off the screen by Murison for 3. His 4th tray of the day. 14 for Price. Luke Longley. Working Murison. Oh, nice move, Luke. Started toward the middle, went to the left. Longley with 9 points here. Price gets the step on Kerr, and as he pulled up, he drew contact with a foul.
Michael foul underneath. Well, actually lost the ball, and when he lost it, Michael committed the foul.
So here's what's on tap. We'll be at Skydome. Bulls and the Raptors. Early start time. Don't forget early, a 6 o'clock Central Time start here on WGN. See Damon Stoudemire for what, the 2nd or 3rd time we've seen him. Fast developing into an excellent player in this league. Brent Price picks up his first at the free throw line, and he'll have another. And it's an 8-point lead for Chicago. Price has 16 points. He's played well here this afternoon.
He's headed for a career high. 18 is his season high. 22 career.
Kerr gets baseline. Does it nicely.
Pulls the trigger, goes right around the big guy. Got 5. Nice move. The crowd loved it.
Again, you're forced to use the basket almost as a screen with Murison in the lane.
Wallace down low with Rodman.
Gee Wallace, the turnaround. Good looking shot right there for Wallace, who shoots about 51% from the field.
Got his first basket against Mike.
Jordan the pull-up. Michael with 23. 8 of 14 shooting from the field. Price gets baseline. Lays it off for Eccles. Good teamwork there, and the Bullets continue to stay within shouting distance, trailing 55-47.
Brent Price is making some great pressure in.
Eccles the steal. Wallace follows up. The jam will not count.
They're going to give him 2 shots on the way to the hoop. He will not get the slam. Steve Kerr on the foul, but he will get 2 shots.
They've called the intentional foul on Kerr, or the breakaway foul. Michael just kind of lost that himself more than a steal. There's the hold by Steve Kerr in the breakaway situation. So Wallace get a couple of shots. Bulls want a timeout to talk it over. So we've got a break of the action with 4:52 to go first half. Michael Jordan and company leading by 7.
On the big guy, he reverses it, throws it up with the left hand. Nicely done. So Rashad Wallace will shoot his 2nd free throw. Made the first one. He's got 3 points. Off the rim, around and in.
And the Bulls lead now, down to 6. Washington getting much of its action inside. The Bullets. Big guy, George Murison. Murison has 8 points here.
There's a 3.
Jordan from the outside again.
Dennis, rebound. What a rebound.
Blue collar rebound there. Now Rodman clears to facilitate the offense. Pippen on the drive. Oh, nice. On the back. 3 seconds. Somebody in there, you knew they had to try to get out.
Big George causing problems.
Watch this. There it is. Whoa. Rodman. Scottie is met by number 77 and thinks better of it. It was Luke Longley who was caught in the lane a moment ago. Bulls hold a big advantage on the boards. And on the offensive glass as well. Eccles backing Jordan.
Illegal defense.
Wallace came way out to the perimeter and no one was with him. I think the Bulls had some miscommunication defensively. So that's the first illegal defense. Sometimes the illegal defense will come up when a team isn't quite sure who should have whom out on what particular portion of the perimeter. Nice interior feed to Eccles. Blocked by Longley. It'll belong to the Bullets with 15 to go on the shot clock. There's a good interior feed from Brent Price, and then Longley wiped out the shot.
Good job. They get the ball inside, and Luke says, I got it here. And he does.
Luke has played well here in the second quarter. 10 to go. On the shot clock, Eccles muscles up a shot, a wild shot. Pippen to Kerr. Kerr allows the offense to set up. Pippen gets a screen from Longley. Good ball rotation to Kerr, who clears for the jumper. 7 for Steve Kerr, and the lead is 57-49. Kerr 3 of 3 from the field. Howard against Pippen. Rodman the rebound. Kerr for 3.
Oh, that thing went in, came out.
Murason's outlet pass to Price. On the drive, and it's stripped away by Pippen. Ahead to Michael. Michael for 2.
So that exchange
25 already for Jordan.
It was very exciting, but they come out of it with no points. The Bulls hit the J.
10-point lead again for the Bulls. Under 3 minutes to go. First half. Murason. Georgie again.
Oh, he's fun to watch, isn't he? You can't block him out.
George looking for help. Luke on the perimeter. Scottie Pippen. Rodman rebounds on the offensive glass. Jordan on the drive. Dennis on the rebound, gets Jordan a jumper. Rasheed Wallace finally retrieves for the Bullets. Brent Price in transition.
He'll shoot the 3. Hey, shoot that right.
Howard. Oh, beautiful move there. Blocked by Longley, but a foul. Well, I tell you, we saw Jordan with a creative move on one end. We see Wallace, or rather Juwan Howard on the other end. Take a look at it. Resourceful Michael Jordan.
Yeah. Goes up, tries it. He thought he drew the foul, and Rodman grabbed the rebound, and after a little miss here, comes down. Howard makes the good move.
Wallace to Brent Price, and then Juwan Howard drew the foul on the drive. Howard puts in on his first. Let's pause for station identification.
This is America's #1 sports station, WGN-TV, Chicago.
Juwan makes good on a pair. He has 10 points, but wait a minute.
No free throw. Violation, Violation. In the lane too quickly.
The Bullets guilty of the violation. Jim Lanham's been frustrated with the calls. McIlvaine comes in, replacing Murason.
You got it less than 2 minutes to play here, so they need a little more active player.
Michael Jordan. McIlvaine got a piece of that. Pretty big piece. Pippen on the drive, and it's stripped and a foul.
Michael thought he was in for he got hammered going in for that dunk, but let's see what happened.
McIlvaine apparently got the ball.
Yeah, I guess he got the good ball.
Brent Price picked up the foul a moment ago as Scottie Pippen made his move. It's the second on Brent Price. First in the last 2 minutes on the Bullets, but a shooting affair nonetheless. Scottie's made all 3 of his free throws. 17 for Pippen here in this first half. McElvain slipped and fell.
Hold it. 5 second delay. Listen.
George. He said, Joey Crawford said it was my fault
that he didn't ask the guy to wipe it up. Dennis Rodman thought that was.
Watch this.
McElvain comes over and it's slick there, and it was not McElvain's fault, and it's up to Joey made the right call. Look at Rodman is just having a ball with Joey.
McElvain clears to Curry in the ball game for the first time this afternoon for Washington. Price to Howard, right down the lane. Rodman clears. Kerr with Jordan ahead.
Take that three, Steve. Measure it. Yes, he did. 10 points in this quarter for Steve.
The bench playing meaningful minutes and a pretty good role here in this ball game thus far.
We talked about Dennis with no rebounds first quarter. What's he got, 9?
Yep. Actually 10. 10. Wallace from the outside connects for 2. 6 for Rasheed Wallace. Under a minute to go. We are second quarter, first half. Jordan.
No foul on that. They can't figure it out.
Michael, a wary look toward the officials. Wallace on the jam.
Beautiful play by Wallace going down the middle, getting the pass. The Bulls upset it, no call. And they creep up. No, Phil wants a 20-second timeout.
Yeah, the lead has been sliced to 64-56. 38.9 left to go in this first half of play. Take a look at the last play.
Good pass through. They didn't get back, and Wallace goes up, hammers the ball, and he gives it the old college yell.
Yes. It's a young, emotional Washington Bullets team here this afternoon. Our next telecast coming up Thursday night. We'll be at Sky Dome. Don't forget that early start time, 6 o'clock Central Time on WGN, the Bulls and the Raptors. The 22nd timeout taken by the Bulls. Phil Jackson with the members of his team are in the ball game at the moment.
Wouldn't be surprised to see the Bulls take a quick one here and try to get the last shot of the quarter.
What's next for this Washington team? They are going to change the nickname from Bullets to going back to Packers or Zephyrs. Well, what's it going to be?
Yeah, Abe Collins says Bullets just indicates a bad feeling, and he's against the crime, the guns.
Scottie Pippen. Oh, nice move here. Steve Kerr had it knocked away. No foul. Red Price on the run. At the arc. Curry for 3. That time. Wallace working the board.
Wallace doing a great job. He's got all 10 of his points here in this quarter, and the Bulls will end up with the last shot.
No shot clock. Final seconds ticking away. Second quarter. The Chicago lead is 6. Pippen goes to work over Howard. McElvain the rebound. Time winding down, and they're not going to get a shot away. The Washington Bullets on a 6-0 run in the last 69 seconds of the second quarter earn a standing ovation from their crowd, and Steve Kerr a bit frustrated, although he had a very good second quarter. 10 points, 4 of 5 from the field, and 3 assists for Steve Kerr. As we reach halftime, the Bulls have a 64-58 advantage. Coming up after the station break, Bill Weir in the WGN Sports Halftime Report. Great things. We saw some not-so-great things in that first half. Wayne Larrabee, Johnny Red Kerr. Good to have you with us on this holiday Monday afternoon. And Red, we did have some highlights, that's for sure.
Yes, we did. One starting with Michael. Watch this play as he'll go like he's going to go around George Mearson, and he comes down through the middle, up over Juwan Howard, slams that ball in. Nicely done. Scottie Pippen, defensive player. Watch this. He's going to force the steal here. Dickie Simpkins gets it, fires it down. Now Pippen will get picked up by a smaller man. but he goes right over Legler and puts the ball in. Brett Price was outstanding in that first half, and he came off of a couple screens to do it. Big Georgie gives him a nice screen. He collects behind it, looks straight up the basket, and boom, knocks that 3 in. Their rookie got a nice play here. Rasheed Wallace gets a pass from Price. He goes on in, stuffs it, and does he like it? Yes. Tell me how much you like it. He's telling everybody how much he likes it. Well, here's Dennis Rodman on a play. He's going to grab the rebound. He's got 10 in the first half. He got them all in the second quarter. He fires it out to Steve Kerr. Kerr comes down to put the pressure on the Bullets. And how do you do that? You stop for the 3. And Steve had a nice quarter, 10 points in that quarter.
The numbers in the first half of play, the Bullets shot very well. They just didn't get as many shots as the Bulls did. The Bulls had 51 shots to Washington's 42. And the big difference, of course, three-point field goal shooting for the Bulls. They had an advantage there. Montgomery Ward leading scores. Steve Kerr had gotten 5 shots or fewer in 4 of the last 7 games. Well, in this first half, he's 4 of 5 from the field of the second quarter, 1 of 2 from three-point land to help support Pippen and Jordan with double-digit scoring for the Bulls. Start of the second half, third quarter here at US Air Arena in Landover, Maryland. Washington Bullets on the attack. Price and Legler court.